A 1 English listening practice, Countable and Uncountable Nouns. Hi, John. Today, we're going to talk about countable and uncountable nouns. Do you know the difference between them?
I'm not sure. Can you explain?
Of course. Let's start with countable nouns. These are things you can count, like apple, book, or chair. You can say 1 apple, 2 apples, and so on. Can you think of another example of a countable noun?
How about car? Is car countable?
Yes, exactly. Car is countable. You can say 1 car, 2 cars, and 3 cars. So, countable nouns are things we can count one by one. You can use numbers with them. Now, let's talk about uncountable nouns. These are things we cannot count individually, like water, rice, or sugar. You don't say 1 water or 2 waters. Does that make sense?
I think so. So, if I can count something, it's a countable noun, and if I can't count it, it's uncountable. Right?
Exactly. And there's another important thing to remember. For countable nouns, you can use a or an in front of singular nouns. For example, a book or an apple. But for uncountable nouns, we don't use a or an. Instead, we use words like some or a lot of. For example, some water or a lot of sugar. Can you give me an example of an uncountable noun?
Let me think. Is milk uncountable?
Yes, that's right. Milk is uncountable. You can say, I drink some milk or I need a lot of milk. But you wouldn't say a milk or 2 milks. It doesn't work like that.
Oh, I understand now. So, I can say, I have an apple for a countable noun, but I have to say, some milk for uncountable nouns. Right?
Exactly. You're getting it. Now, let's practice a little. Can you give me a sentence with a countable noun?
Okay. How about, I have 2 books?
Perfect. You use the number 2 because books are countable. Now, try to make a sentence with an uncountable noun.
I need some sugar.
Yes, very good. You can't count sugar, so you use some. Now, what about something like bread? Is bread countable or uncountable?
Bread. I think it's uncountable.
That's correct. Bread is uncountable. You can't say 1 bread or 2 breads. But if you want to count it, you can say a slice of bread or a loaf of bread. Do you see the difference?
Oh, I see. So, if I want to count, I have to use slice or loaf for bread. That's interesting.
Yes, exactly. This happens with a lot of uncountable nouns. For example, with water, you can say a glass of water or a bottle of water. You add the container or unit to make it countable.
Got it. So, I can say, I drank a cup of coffee, because coffee is uncountable, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Great job, John. Now, let's practice a bit more. Can you tell me if banana is countable or uncountable?
Banana is countable. You can say 1 banana or 2 bananas.
Exactly. Now, what about rice? Is it countable or uncountable?
Rice is uncountable. You can't say 1 rice or 2 rices. You have to say some rice.
That's right. You're doing great. Just remember that uncountable nouns are usually things like liquids, water, milk, or small items we don't count individually, sugar, rice. Countable nouns are things we can count, like apples, chairs, or cars.
This is making more sense now. Thanks for explaining it.
You're welcome, John. Keep practicing, and it will become even easier. Please like and subscribe.